was a quartermaster, a navigator, ship navigator. I was stationed 2 years on a destroyer, and then the last 2 years I was on the Nimitz, which is an aircraft carrier, and it was out of Charleston at that time. I was in from 73 to 75. It was a very tail end of Vietnam and the Cold War. Where I used to work at, I got a buddy. He was a Marine, and we were talking one time, and he goes, yeah, he said, I get 60% disability. I said, what? How'd you do that? He said, well, I went through Trajector, and he gave me the link. He said, you ought to call them up. I said, man, 20, 30 years ago, I put in for a disability, and they turned me down. They treat you like crap. When you go down to VA Dallas, and they treat you like crap. Bad experience. I don't want anything else to do with it. He said, man, you really got, call these people. And so I did. And when I got that letter, couldn't believe it. He got 60% being a jarhead that went out there, and beat his body up every day. I get 80%. And he goes, you got 80%? He said, man, you did real good. I loved when I first made the phone call, because I called them and they didn't answer right away. I think I left a message. I'm not sure. But they called right back within 5 minutes. And they said, is this Boyd? Yeah. And I told them who I was, and they asked a few questions. And then they started saying, well, can we start going through this medical screening, I think is what it was. And I said, yeah. And I was on the phone with them for about 2 hours. And they started asking these questions, and they started connecting dots as to, okay, well, this and this could have led to this, or this could have led to this. Things I had never even considered. I'll give you an example. When I was out at sea, I was always getting headaches, bad headaches. And I didn't know it at the time. I thought they were all related to probably that head injury. But they said, well, that sounds like a migraine headache, because you get migraines out at sea. And I thought, well, I've never heard of getting migraines at sea, but what I'm describing really is a migraine. It said, yeah, because the salt and the sun and the water out there and all this other stuff, it gives you migraines. Well, when you take migraines, or when you have migraines, you start taking medicine. The Advil causes inflammation in your stomach. It causes ulcers. It causes all these other things, bad things that happen to you. That's all tied together, and they refer to that as service related. I never considered things like that. It's just something that, that's what your body does. I was very impressed. And then they started asking, they asked every part of my body. Well, I got arthritis in my shoulder. I got a back injury. I had my leg scoped. I got arthritis in my hip. I've got a bad ankle. All those things. And they just connected them every bit back to service related. And I thought, golly, I've never even considered these things. And then when I got that 80% and they confirmed a lot of that, I'm going, holy moly, I would have never thought that in my life. I'm going to be honest with you. I was thinking, well, if I get anything at all, 10, 20, 30%, maybe. And 80%, I was just blown away.